Martha from Shutterscape Creations, and I am coming to you today with a simple card project. I made this really easy card in Design Space using a Close to My Heart Artbooking cartridge and a stamp set that I have from Close to My Heart. It was really easy. I embossed the background to add a little extra texture and dimension to it, and this little shape is popped up. And it would be very easy. Let's see if I can show you the card there. It'd be very easy to mass produce this card, make it in a bunch of different colors, make a whole set maybe and give it to a friend so they have some birthday cards to give out. I also put a very simple greeting on the inside that also is from that stamp set, although the happy birthday is from the Sweet Stamp Shop. So let's head on up to my craft room and I'll show you how I put this together and how I colored this cupcake a very special way. It's not done with markers, hint, hint. So let's head on up and check it out. Okay, so here we are at my craft table. I have my stuff all cut out. I have actually 5 or 6 different colors of the Make-A-Wish cut out over here. I have all my stuff ready. I've picked out some inks, distress inks that I'm going to use to ink that little centerpiece. I have all my colored bases cut out. I have all my pieces I'm going to emboss, and I have my card bases, and I've scored all but this very last one. And I'm going to show you just how easy it is to mass produce these. So if you get all your stuff ready to go, then the rest of it's a piece of cake. So the first thing I'm going to do, I have my scoreboard out, and I'm going to score this at 4 1/4. And I'm going to go ahead and fold my card base. So that's all ready to go. And then I'm going to get my ATG gun out. And I'm going to use this pretty red ripply paper I got at, I believe, Joann's. Flatten that out. Let me put my scoreboard away. So I have that out of the way. And so there's my card base with my background on it. The next piece I'm going to do is the embossed piece. So let me grab my Cuttlebug over here. I'm going to use this fun Swiss dots pattern. I don't know if you can see that on camera at all, but I'm going to use this fun Cuttlebug folder. I love these dots, and I love the swirls I used on the other one too, but you just put it in here. So I have that. And then the way you do this is you put your A plate on, and then I just put my folder, making sure it didn't just move, my folder in between my 2 B plates and run it through. Now I'm just going to make one and then I'll mass produce the rest. So normally I would fold all my bases and put all my colored pieces on and then emboss all my pieces so I don't have to keep taking things on and off of my table. But I'm just going to make one and then I'll mass produce the rest of them just to show you how quick it is. So there's my fun embossed piece, and that's ready to go on here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on. So then I would just center this. This card is an A2 card, so it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So this top piece is 4 by 5 1/4. The red piece, of course, was 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So that's ready to go. So I'm just using my favorite liquid Tombow mono glue here. And then this is the other part, this wish part. And it goes down here. And before I glue that, I'm going to make sure I have my little circle here that's going to eventually be my cupcake. And I just want to make sure that when I'm spacing these, that I space these correctly. And that looks really good. So I'm going to stick this on. So super simple. As you can see, we're pretty much just done. The hardest part on this card is, the most time involved part is the cupcake. So I'm going to set my glue aside and let's do our stamp stuff now. I'm going to set my card aside too. I'll put it over here. And since we're going to be stamping, I'm going to turn my Close to My Heart mat over because this is a soft surface and it's a good surface to stamp on. So the stamp set I'm using is this one set, and I think I'm going to use a different cupcake than the last one. Let's use this one with a little cherry on top. And I have my little stamping block out. And what we're going to color this with is going to use colored pencils and some odorless mineral spirits. I've just put them in this jar with a little sponge, and I actually just refilled it, so it's a little full. I normally wouldn't put this much in with the sponge. Normally I would just put a little bit because the sponge then absorbs the rest. But it's odorless mineral spirits. You can get it at Michael's. That's where I got that. And I had this little jar laying around, but this is what it is here, is this stuff here. You can get it in the paint section over at Michael's, or you don't want to use real mineral spirits. You want to use the odorless mineral spirits, or if I think of the name of what the name brand one is, I'll put it on the screen for you when I upload this. But it just says odorless paint thinner, and you find it, like I said, in the painting and art supplies section. And I always use the Memento ink, or something like you would use for Copics, because you don't want your ink to run. So we'll use Memento ink. And I've never used this, so to season it, I always like to just sort of rub it on my hands. And I love clear stamps because you can kind of look at them and make sure you're getting good coverage. Okay. That's very nice. If you don't have one of these mats, one thing to keep in mind is that the little, with the Close to My Heart stamps, this little foam piece that comes with it, you can just put it down on your table. It just helps you get a better impression. So if you're having problems getting a good impression with your stamps, try putting this little piece of foam, just the foam piece like this, underneath your stamped image. This mat from Close to My Heart has a little soft, squishy side, so you can use that side for stamping also. And I am going to clean my stamp off real quick. Move my image so I don't spray it. I'm just going to spray it with the Close to My Heart Spritz Cleaner, and then rub it off on our stamp scrubber. Set that aside. Set that aside. And now to color. So let me show you what we're going to do. We're going to use this odorless mineral spirits, and then I have these. Let me grab them over here. I have these blending stumps. Now, there are a couple different kinds. These are made in Taiwan, and I bought all of these at I think I got these maybe at Hobby Lobby and these at Michael's. I like these much better. They're almost like a pressed paper stump that you can use, but this one is more like a rolled paper. See, it's got a tube in the center. And I just find, I don't know, I just don't like the way that these color. They work, and I've used them in a pinch when I'm using multiple colors and I don't want to take the time to clean off my stumps. But they're just these paper stumps, and you can just use, there's sandpaper that comes with some of the kits that you can do this with, but I have this nail file from a friend of mine from her salon, and I just rub it off, and it rubs off any of the color. Once it's dry, I tend to like to wait till these dry to do that. And I'm just going to rub off any color that might be on the end. Generally, though, it doesn't transfer too badly onto paper. That one's in pretty good shape. So anyway, that's what I use. I'll put all this over here. And what we do, I need my hard surface back, so let me flip my mat back over. Okay. So what I do is you color with your pencils. I'm just using Prismacolors, but you can do this with Crayolas. You can do this with the Crayola coloring pencils. I've even done it with cheap Target colored pencils. But some of these, like these Prismacolors, have a higher pigment in them, so you get brighter colors when you use them. But you certainly don't have to use these fancy colors. I just wouldn't use the watercolor colored pencils because they don't quite work the same way as these do. So this one I have a lot of color choices, so I'm going to do kind of similar to what I did on the other one, and since I'm making a card that's primarily red, I'm going to color this cupcake part red. So let me get... Okay, so I just have a scrap of paper here from something I was playing with, and I'm just going to check and make sure that the red is really what I want. Let's see what else I got here. I love this set of colored pencils. It's really got a lot of choices to it. So you can see I've got, this has 2 different trays of pencils in it. All right, so I'm gonna start by coloring the cupcake thing. So you just wanna color a little bit on the outside of the stamp image. I'm just gonna color along here and up underneath here. Just wanna quickly lay some color down. And then what we're gonna do once I have some color laid down is I'm gonna open my jar. You definitely don't want to leave this just sitting open because before too long it'll start to evaporate and you'll run out, but ooh, that's really full. Normally it's not that full, so normally I can just touch it to the sponge and it gets the stump wet. And then you just sort of pull this color. What that odorless mineral spirit starts to do is break down the wax in the colored pencils and starts shading it. So much like when you're coloring with Copics or anything else, you can blend it as much or as little as you'd like. You can leave some spots. You can go back in later and add some more color pencil, which I probably will do here. I'm going to do, oh, let's go ahead and do that cherry on top too, because I really want to keep this red out. So that's the start, as you can see. Kind of cool. And you can add more color. If I've got another red here, here's a really dark red. So I'm gonna just go along these lines here with this really dark red. You really don't need a lot of color on to begin with. And let's see, what complementing color do I want to do? Nice yellow, I like that. So, and I think we're gonna do on top of as the frosting on the cupcake, like a blue violet. So here's a blue violet. This will be the cupcake that you hope you never get because it colors your mouth blue. You just keep blending it like you do with Copics just to remove any harsh lines. Okay, so when you're happy with your picture, it's not smudgy or anything like that. I'm gonna do one little thing though. I have a white Signo pen. I'm gonna add a little detail here to this cherry. Okay, and then I probably should have done it ahead of time so that I could save myself if something happened. Let me put my color pencils away. I have these little distress inks. Little minis, because I have a little mini tool. I've collected these, and this one is Fired Brick, and I'm just going to put a little bit of red along these little tips. Okay, and then I just take the little pad off and put it in there, and then it's ready to use. And I always put it ink side down so that all I have to do now is take my tool and touch it to that, and I'm ready to go. So the final touch is to put this, pop it up on foam tape is what I've done here. So now I'm going to just stick this on here. And there you have it. The very front of your card is done. And then on the inside I have that same stamp set that here there's a little greeting. And I'm going to use my Close to My Heart inks on the inside. This is Ruby. One of my favorite reds. And I have used this stamp before, so I'm just going to ink it up. And it says, everywhere you go, take a smile and a cupcake with you. I think in keeping with the sort of brighter colors on the front, I'm going to use another close to my heart color here. Let's see what this Pacifica looks like. I have this stamp set from the Sweet Stamp Shop. I will put a link down below where you can get that. But it's just all kinds of different happy and birthday words, so it's kind of great to just build your own happy birthday. So, and I want to pick another one here. Let's use that same one we used before called, it just says birthday. So that says happy and this says birthday, and I'm just using my mat here to sort of line them up the way I want them and make sure they're kind of straight. And stamp that down. So super simple, super easy. That's the card, but let me quickly, I will fast forward through a lot of it, but let me just show you how you would just quickly mass produce a whole bunch of these. So here we go, enjoy the music. Those are all scored. So there's all my card bases ready to go. I just wanted to say this is a Recollections pack of paper that had these 3 colors in it, and this is a glitter paper pack from Walmart, and I'm a little covered in glitter, but that's okay. So on to the next step. All done embossing. Put this away. All these cards are ready to go. Now all I gotta do is put the words on. On to the next step. There's that step. Now on to the coloring. They're all inked and ready to go. Now on to the stamping. All done with the cupcakes. Now on to coloring. thing I want to do again is add that little glint on the cherry. I have my white gel pen and I just want to add a little detail there. And one of the last things I want to do is I want to get my Wink of Stella pen out here. I have my clear Wink of Stella pen and I just want to add some little details to the cupcakes. In fact, I'm going to bring this red one back in here. So I don't know if you can see it on the paper, but there's that. And these are extra touches you don't need to do. As a matter of fact, if you didn't want to color the cupcakes, you wouldn't have to if you were just trying to be quick and easy. There's all my cupcakes. Now I just need a little bit of foam tape and we're ready to go. So there you have it. I am not going to stamp a greeting in each one of these because I might decide later that I want to add something different. But here are the cards. There's the pretty red one, and there's the orange and yellow one, and then here's the green one, and then there's a blue, and a turquoise, and the purple. So super simple, super easy. There's my original purple one, just a little different. I actually inked this and I ended up not liking the way it looked. I don't know if you can see that, the way that that was inked in between the letters. I wasn't really crazy with how that looked, so I didn't do that on my second one. But as you can see, it's really easy to mass produce. And now I have 7 really easy birthday cards for that quick, you know, card to send to somebody. So that was it for today. If you like what you see, please click like and leave your comment. I'd love to know which one of these you like, which color you liked. They're all very pretty and they're all a little different and very easy. But if you're not subscribed already, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of my crafty fun that I'm having. And I hope to talk to you guys soon. Have a happy day. Happy crafting. Bye.